Hi class, I just wanted to give you guys a video update and a really exciting announcement. I finally figured out how to do kind of an online webinar chat. So I'm going to be sending out an invite for that. I think we'll do it this Thursday night at 9 p.m. And then hopefully that will be a great time for us to get together and talk through the assignments and the upcoming assignments and just basically have question and answer time. And then we'll kind of do those once a week at different times to try to get everybody included. And so go ahead and shoot me an email letting me know if there's a good time for you. 9 o'clock works great for me because my kids are in bed and hopefully they won't be coming up and bothering me. So I'll be able to give you guys my undivided attention at that time. Then we'll kind of play around with different times and dates so that everybody can get a chance to join in that. The great thing too is that I'll be able to record it, so then we can send it out and it will be available for 2 weeks after we do that session for anybody else to go in and watch. So it'll be time for me to chat. You guys will be able to comment or verbally get on there and ask me questions and video. So you have all kinds of options of being on the phone, being on your computer, chatting with us. So wait for more information on that. All right, I finally finished grading your Chapter 1 rough drafts. Thanks for being patient with me. Make sure that you are looking at that and looking at all those markups that I have given you. I put a lot of time in trying to correct all the little grammatical errors and giving you feedback on the flow of your paper. So make sure you're looking at that and asking me any questions that you may have about that. Then I wanted to go over kind of, I've basically written out behind me, and I'll stand up and talk about this in a bit, giving you guys some feedback on, or kind of my schedule of how I think you guys should kind of plan out your next weeks. You don't have to, but just to give you guys an idea of how to write this lit review. The first chapter, it was pretty guided. You're writing this paragraph or these pages. And now it's really kind of like, here, write a lit review. And you're going to be asked to return that in about 4 weeks. 4 weeks? I don't remember. Anyway, so I want to kind of give you an idea of how to do that, all right? We can go more into your actual research and how you're doing that research and your primary sources and things like that in our video chat this week, okay? So let me go through all of this with you. So here's your chapter 2, but first in the black, I'm kind of going to outline this week's assignment, which is your mini lit review. So by that time, you should have 3 sources. These are different sources or, probably different sources than what you've used in your chapter 1. They all have to be primary sources, so journal articles, things like that. So that is where you will be writing an introduction. You will review source 1, source 2, source 3 in 3 different paragraphs, and then write a quick conclusion about those 3 sources. So you're introducing the topic and kind of introducing the 3 sources, and then you're writing that. Remember, a lit review is not like a movie review, all right? You are summarizing the important information, the information from that source that applies to your topic, okay? So there are sample lit reviews, not only in our sample capstone, but there are, I think, 3 or 4 in one of the modules there on Canvas. So, so read over those. Your journal articles should also have lit reviews. If they did research, there's a lit review in there. So read some of those to kind of get the flow of it. But again, a lit review is going to, and I'll talk about this in a sec, is going to mesh some of those sources together. Where this mini lit review, we really are keeping it to 1 paragraph per source, okay? So that is due this week. And then next week, you are going to need to turn in your final draft of chapter 1. So that means next week, you're gonna need to go back and do all those edits and turn in that final draft. But while you're doing that, so that you don't get too bogged down, you should also be adding in a couple more sources. You have to have 10 sources in your lit review alone. That's not 10 sources for the whole paper. That's 10 more outside of chapter 1, 10 more that are just primary sources for your lit review. So I'm thinking, I've scheduled it out for you, add 2 more sources if you can next week. And this is how a lit review works. So you have source 1, source 2, source 3. So you read source 4 and you add it into this because it kind of blends with source 3. And then, oh, your source 5 kind of blends with paragraph 1. I also think you should start creating sections. So you're going to do section 1. So these 2 paragraphs with these sources kind of fall under section 1. And then you're going to do section 2. And then you may even have a section 3. You don't have to. You should probably have 2 sections. But section 1, section 2, section 3, let's say. And you're going to start clumping things together in like themes, like ideas. All right? So that's next week. So follow the green for next week. Then we're going to move into what's due August 20th. August 20th, you're going to be sending in a reference list. This is basically your bibliography, your reference list at the end of your paper. So it's going to need to be all your sources from chapter 1 and all from your lit review. So by August 20th, you need to have at least all of your sources in all 10 for your lit review compiled, all right? You may not have read them, but you are pretty sure you're going to use them. So this is every source that you are going to use. You may add more later. You for sure will, well, may not for sure, but you will possibly add more next semester. But for now, it's going to be everything that's going to be included in your lit review and in chapter 1. So that's what you'll be turning in. So it should be more than 10 sources. And then you should read and add 3 more sources. So let's say you have source 6, source 7. Did I say 3? So source 8 kind of gets blended in. So you might have a paragraph with 3 sources in it. You might have a paragraph with just 1. It just kind of is how it flows, all right? Then moving on to August 27th, this is brown. You are going to be writing your conclusion. So you already wrote a conclusion for the mini lit review, just add to it. Add to it, now that you know all of your 10 sources, add to kind of beef it up a little bit, now that it's a more fully established lit review. All right, so that's what you're gonna turn in. Then add your 2 more sources. So where are we at? Source 9, and let's put source 10 up here. However it fits, however that flows for you. So just kind of start reading and adding in each week. That's going to help you be ready for September 3rd. You have to have that full rough draft turned in. You're also, in this section, right after all your paragraphs, you are going to write an analysis of your lit review. So it's kind of a summary of all of this, and then you're going to conclude, and your conclusion is going to kind of introduce chapter 3. All right, we'll get into that later and figure out, I'll explain what your chapter 3 is going to be. But so September 3rd, you'll still have to write that analysis, and you're going to have this full rough draft ready to go. All right, I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps you plan ahead the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks left in this class, and then helps you plan out your time so that you aren't feeling overwhelmed as you get down to here and are having to write a full lit review. All right, please let me know if you have any questions, and again, look for information about our session that's coming up. All right, bye.